What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and it's that vlog time once again. That's right. This is episode 46 of my Let's Vape vlog series, where I talk about a whole bunch of different topics affecting the vaping industry and my channel and my life and everything else in between. I've got a fairly light show on tap for you guys today, but there's some very important stuff to talk about here. So we're going to kick it all off with some news, updates, and of course, advocacy and a lot of drama happening this week, guys. So pay attention. I've got some first impressions to do, taking a look at some of the new vape gear that I've got. We've got some shout outs to do. I've got to show you guys some love out there and give you some shout outs. Then we're going to go on to what I've been vaping on this past week. And after that, I've got one little piece of vape mail to unbox, but I know what it is and it's a doozy, guys. I'm really excited about it. And then we're going to finish it all off with a random review. So that's pretty much the show. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Go ahead and grab your favorite frosty beverage, grab your favorite vape, sit back, relax, and let's vape. Alright guys, so unfortunately we're going to have to start it off with some bad news. The nicotine tax that we've been talking about lately in New Jersey is officially happening. Governor Murphy signed it into law the other day, and it will become official and starting on either September 20th or October 20th. The actual letter of the bill is a little bit confusing. According to a post from Gregory Connolly, the president of the American Vaping Association, on Facebook the other day, he said that companies must count their physical inventory by August 1st, which means that the state is actually going to be coming back and taxing them on whatever they have in stock right now, whether it's a wholesaler, a distributor, a vape shop. Everyone has to count up their inventory and let the state know how much nicotine containing e-liquid they actually have on their shelves, and then they're going to be taxed on it for everything that they have in stock. That is something that could potentially be industry crippling in New Jersey. We saw the same thing happen in Pennsylvania, and it closed a whole bunch of shops out there. And now, even to this day, it's kind of a struggling industry in Pennsylvania. Yeah, there's still some vape shops out there, but it's just not like it used to be. So the prices are going to go up in New Jersey, unfortunately. I think the really damaging thing for this whole bill is going to be the floor tax. If companies can't afford to pay the taxes on the e-liquid that they have in stock currently, then they're going to have to shut down for good. So that is something that's really bad for New Jersey businesses out there. I think this bill is a little bit kind of more than necessary. Hopefully the NJVRC can get this thing turned around within the next 90 days or so, but it's not really looking good right now for the state of New Jersey. And as far as what you guys can do as consumers out there, at this point, not much. So I would just keep my eyes peeled and look out on CASA.org, because that is where all the calls to action are going to be coming from. And if there is anything you guys can do, whether it's a public rally or anything like that, make sure you just pay attention to CASA.org. I don't care if you have to make it your homepage on your computer or something like that, but make sure you guys just keep on the lookout for anything happening right now in New Jersey to potentially solve this situation here. But like I said, it's not really looking too good right now. Hopefully we can get this thing turned around, but it's just one thing after another right now, and it's really just industry damaging. The next thing on my list of topics to talk about is the fake comments, the spam comments that are anti-vaping that are being flooded into the FDA's website right now for the comments period. Now, we've been drilling it into your heads for the past couple of months about the comments period, to make sure you guys go out there and submit your comments about flavored vapor products to the FDA. Well, guess what? The anti-vaping organizations, or whoever was behind this, got a little bit lazy and didn't get enough submissions, so they decided to use this tactic instead. Now, I'm just going to read a little bit off of regulatorwatch.com here. It says, in the little kind of flavor piece underneath the video here, it says, in a bitter battle to destroy vaping, bad actors have spammed over 255,000 fake anti-vaping comments into the system overseeing the public consultation process for FDA's proposed rulemaking on the regulation of flavors in tobacco products. Regulations that could include restrictions on flavors or an outright flavor ban. FDA sources tell RegWatch the spammed entry of over 250,000 fake comments is extraordinary and unprecedented. It nearly brought down federal servers and so bogged down the internal network, it's become become next to impossible to process any submissions at all. It's a massive assault on the credibility of the public consultation process. So I highly recommend you guys check out the Regulator Watch video. It'll be linked right down there in the description below. But here's what we know so far. There's been over 250,000 fake comments submitted. They were spammed in over the course of 4 days. There's no first or last names on these submissions here. It's just a comment and a little acronym or something like that, and that's it. There's no first or last names submitted with these particular comments. It could be the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids trying to disrupt the process, which if they did that successfully, then they could potentially throw out the entire thing. This whole comments period that we've been working so hard for could just be thrown out because of this indiscretion here. So unfortunately, you know, that's what happens. They talk about a lot of different stuff on the video, including, you know, mass campaigns like this where people are actually paid to go and spam comments because they don't have enough on their side. So they could have also spammed a few comments in the pro-vaping side as well, just to completely illegitimize the entire process here, and that way the FDA just throws out the whole thing. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I have a feeling that over the course of the next few weeks, it's going to be impossible to go through every single one of those comments, but we'll have to wait and see on the future news for this. I mean, this is a developing story that just happened, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on it, and I will of course keep you guys updated. Now here's the part of the video where I normally would say, go get your comments submitted. We only have a couple weeks left, but unfortunately their system is so bogged down right now that I don't even know if that's possible. Now, I'm gonna say it anyways. If you can go to their website, then definitely get your comments in while you can. Hopefully this whole thing doesn't get thrown out, and we still need to push these last couple of weeks because I'm sure they are expecting us to give up at this point, but we will not give up that easily. Alright guys, it's time for some first impressions on the vape gear that I've got in recently, and we're going to start it off with this one here today. This is the OBS Engine V2, and this is not something brand spanking new, but it's new to me, so let's go ahead and talk about it. First thing I gotta say is the overall kind of look and feel to this thing is absolutely stunning. It's really gorgeous machining, everything fits beautifully, the O-rings, the threads, everything like that is absolutely stunning. It's got a very similar filling method as the QP Design Juggernaut tank, where it just pulls up like that, and it's got a little slot on there where you just kind of put your bottle in and give it a squeeze. That's kind of nice, although it is a little bit loose, so this could easily kind of come up in your bag or something like that, so just keep an eye on that for sure. The airflow slots are at the top here. This is a top airflow RTA, and it comes down through the outside of the chamber, which is kind of neat. It works really well. I mean, no complaints as far as performance is concerned. I'm vaping at 0.13 ohm coil right now, vaping it at 80 watts from the Mage 217 box mod here, and it's really doing a good job. So let's just quickly take a rip off of this one. So the airflow is not the loudest in the world, but it's not the quietest as well. It's kind of right there in the middle. It doesn't have any sort of high-pitched whistle or anything like that, which is definitely a good thing, but it's definitely not the quietest airflow around. So with that, it's kind of, it's right there in the middle. I'm not going to take any points off for it, but I'm definitely not going to give it props for that. The only other thing that I really had a problem with this one so far is the actual screws themselves. The screws on the build deck are not that great. Now, I typically hate Chinese screws because they are so bad. They strip out so easily, and this is definitely no exception to that whatsoever. I had a difficult time actually getting these things really good and tight without my screwdrivers slipping, and I'm using the best screwdrivers I have here. It's the appropriate size. Everything fits really nicely, but the second you put pressure on them and give them a turn, they just really want to slip out of there and strip those screws. So just be very, very careful if you do get one of these for yourself about that, and try not to strip your screws. The only other thing really, I guess, would be kind of this fake out 510 tip here. This is a big, massive, wide bore looking tip, and then it goes all the way down to a 510 size. So it's kind of disappointing to see a bore that small on a tank like this here. I mean, obviously it's going to have its limitations with the airflow section and everything like that, but I was kind of hoping for a slightly wider bore with this one here, and I was sadly disappointed. Next up, we're going to talk about the new and improved Me Pod. I've got this blinged out Rave Edition Me Pod that Smoking Vapor sent me, and I gotta say, they did a really good job with these pods. The only thing that they updated as far as I know is the actual pods themselves, and I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see this, but we will take a look at these pods in a nice close-up view when I do a little video on this. But they added a little silicone pad in the bottom of the actual chamber here, and so far I haven't had a single drop leak out the bottom of these pods, which is great news because before I was getting a little bit of juice. Now, maybe like a drop or two every now and then. It really wasn't that bad, but it does make a difference when you're talking about the contacts, and I had a little bit of an issue with auto firing. So far, no auto firing whatsoever. I've had nothing but good luck with this pod. Minimal dry hits. I mean, when I'm chain vaping this thing, I tend to use this as a direct-to-lung sort of chaining sort of device, and that's probably my own fault there. I'm not going to fault Smoking Vapor on that one whatsoever, but I do tend to chain vape on this a little bit, and it kind of dries out the pod towards the end of it. Not a lot of complaints so far about the new pods. As far as the device itself, I love this Rave Edition because it's actually a clear plastic all the way around with the shell, and you can actually see the light through the outside of the case here, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm just really digging these Me Pods because they're just so nifty and convenient. The batteries are decent, and it gives you a really good pull. I tend to use this thing as a direct-to-lung pod system, which is kind of rare for me because normally I'm looking for a nice tight draw, but with this one here, because I actually do it as a direct-to-lung, and I'm using 18 milligram nicotine salts from Ohm Brew e-liquid, and it's a 50-50 range. This one is lemon and lime ice lolly, and it is absolutely fantastic. And what can I say? I mean, it's a really great travel-friendly sort of tiny little pod system. You can wear it around your neck with this blinged-out gold chain that they sell on their website, or you could just hide it in your pocket if you want to. But it's a great little travel vape if you want something that gives you a little bit more of a puff than a typical pod system. You can direct to lung it, you can mouth to lung it if you want to, you can use regular nicotine, you can use nic salts, and so far so good with these new and improved pods. No major complaints so far, and I just want to give Smoking Vapor a big shout out for this because they know for a fact that I am probably one of their biggest critics, yet they still insist on sending me all of their latest and greatest products because they know that I'll give them honest feedback. So Smoking Vapor, I cheers to you for that, and really thank you so much for another one of these awesome Me Pods. It's shout out time to show you guys some love out there, and if you guys want to shout out for yourself, all you have to do is send me an email, dailyvapetv@gmail.com. Tell me your name, tell me a little bit about yourself, tell me your vaping story or who you want me to shout out, and I'll be sure to get to you at some point on one of these vlogs here. So with that, let's go ahead and get started here. The first one actually comes from Facebook. Guys, you got to email me. If you don't email me, I'm not going to remember. Luckily, I caught this one just in time before starting to record this video here. But this is from David Renshaw. He says, "Hey Nick, how about a shout out for a UK and Australian reviewers show called Day and Night with Damo, Nemad is Vaping, and Dave the Salford Vapor every Friday from 12 midnight UK and 9 a.m. Australia time. Thanks in advance if you get this." Well, David, you're lucky I got this because I don't normally check Facebook for shout out requests, but I caught it, like I said, just in time here. So big shout out to you, David, for the request there. Big shout out to the show as well. Make sure you guys check it out. I'll leave a link right down there in the description below if you guys want to check that out for yourself. But once again, thank you so much for writing in there, David, and let's go ahead and move on to the next one here. This one comes from Josh Vienna. He says, "Hey Nick, hope all is well and hope you had a blast in Canada. Can we get a shout out for Michelle Lynn and the wonderful things for the community she does, as well as the beautiful mods she creates?" Well, of course, big shout out to you, Michelle Lynn. You have been shouted out several times now, so I hope you are enjoying this. But Michelle Lynn, of course, is Dull Dime Mods. She makes some beautiful Altoids tins boxes here, like you know, this one, number 20 that I have here. This is lovely number 20. I've showed this off so many times now. He continues with, also to the Vape Stew crew. Of course, big shout out to the Vape Stew crew and to the Daily Vape TV Cloud crew. Yeah, all my lovely people in the Daily Vape TV Cloud crew, you have been shouted out as well. And last but not least, the whole mess of vape advocates like Jennifer Berger Coleman and Greg Connolly, we have helping us fight the good fight. Well, of course, they all deserve some recognition as well. Jennifer Berger Coleman, Stefan Didek, Alex Clark, Greg Connolly, all of these guys that work super hard on a daily basis with almost no recognition. These are the people that are fighting for our rights to vape, and they are spearheading the pro-vaping campaigns and all of these websites that you've heard of. CASA, SAFATA, the AVA, NotBlowingSmoke.org, all of these amazing organizations and all of the hard work that these guys put in, and they barely get any recognition for it. So yeah, big shout out to all of my lovely vaping advocates out there as well. I love you guys so much, and keep doing what you do. The next one is from William Landers. It says, shout out to the donors and hosts of the GSFA auction. Now, the next part says, if I see this by June 30th, could I do some promo for it? And I totally missed that. I do apologize there, William. I missed that entirely, but big shout out to you, Bill, and the GSFA for hosting that auction. I really hope you guys raised a whole bunch of money and spread the good word of advocacy, and thank you so much for writing in. And last but not least, we have Mike's Mex Reviews. He writes in and says, shout out Mike's Mex, bro. Well, Mike's Mex Reviews, big shout out goes to you. Of course, Mike is one of my co-hosts on Savs. We have a lot of fun on Sundays, and we like to have a good time. We have some laughs, and of course, talk about some important topics as well. Taking a look at his channel real quick, he's hovering right around 960 subscribers, so make sure you guys go check out his channel, and don't forget to subscribe. He has a ton of mech mods, and his channel is very heavily mech mod centric, so definitely check him out, guys. He's worth a look, and big shout out goes to you, Mike. Much love, and we'll see you on Savs. It's time to talk about what I've been vaping on this past week, all of the different setups that I've been rocking. We're going to start it off with something pretty familiar. We've got this guy right here, as we saw in the first impression segment, the Coil Art Mage 217 box mod with the OBS Engine V2 on top of there. And yeah, been rocking this one for a few days now, and I'm definitely loving it. Inside the tank, we've got some Hometown Hero Just Series Strawberry Punch. It's a pretty basic strawberry flavor, and I'm digging it. You know, sometimes you just want to go back to basics. You don't want something super extra complicated with a million different flavor profiles in there, just bogging down your taste buds. You want something fresh, ripe, fruity, juicy, all that good stuff. And that's exactly what I'm getting from this stuff here. The next one I've got is a repeat from last week, which is the Immortal Mods Grip Sidefire Mech with the Dead Rabbit and Challenge cap on top. This is, of course, the Butcher cap and a DHD glow-in-the-dark bat tip. So with that, I've changed juices now. I've got this French Vanilla Brown Sugar. This one is made by ADV, and it is absolutely delicious. I don't normally vape a lot of dessert flavors, but this is one I can go back to time and time again. Really good stuff. If you haven't tried it out, make sure you go get yourself a bottle. Of course, everything is linked right down there. And what more can I say? I mean, this is my kind of really nice, shiny setup. I have to polish this thing every 2 days, but you know what? It's definitely worth it because it's just gorgeous. Next up, we've got the infamous Purple People Eater mod, the Defiant Designs TS with the Times Vape and Tenacious TX Vapes Reverie on top of there. And inside the tank, I've got some 12 Monkeys. This one is part of their Ice Age collection, Matata Iced. And I don't even know the flavor profile on this one. It's just sweet and fruity and a little bit of menthol in there, which is absolutely nice and refreshing. I'm absolutely digging this one. But yeah, this mod setup has been my grab and go, sort of go anywhere, do anything sort of setup. It's my all-day banger. I absolutely love this thing, and as you probably watched on Vape Stew the other night, I actually picked this mod as my favorite, current favorite, you know, because my favorites change all the time, but this one I would have to say is my current favorite. I almost forgot to mention I've got a semi-nitro 5150 tri-core stainless steel alien in here, and this thing is absolutely rocking right now. It's a 0.14 single coil in this thing, and it absolutely chucks. So make sure you guys go check him out on Instagram at semi-nitro5150. He builds some gorgeous coils. Next up, I've got the Smok or Smok, depending on how you pronounce it, Baby Mag Kit with a little baby prints on top of there, 0.6 ohm coil in the tank with some Hometown Hero Angel's Tears. This is a watermelon, berries, and coconut flavor that is great for summer. By far my favorite flavor from Hometown Hero. Highly recommend you guys check this one out. They also have a menthol version if you prefer menthol. I think that one's called Angel's Breath, and I'm probably going to be dipping into that one as soon as that bottle's gone. But with that, flavor on this thing is pretty darn good, like I mentioned in the full review. And with the 0.6 ohm coil, you get just the right amount of vapor for the car. It's not fogging out the interior, and you know, it's not causing a distraction or anything like that. But it's a great sort of A to B sort of companion. And last but not least, I've got the Rave Edition Me Pod. This one I believe is called Unity. I really love how it changes color in every different direction and lighting and all that. Absolutely love it. This one has been kind of my editing setup. I've been sitting at the computer just kind of puffing away on this guy, and I gotta say, definitely does the trick, because inside I've got some 18 milligram Nic Salt from Homebrew. This is part of their 50/50 range. This one is called Lemon and Lime Lolly. Now, this one, to me, it kind of tastes like the very end of a green freeze pop. You just, you know, drink the last little bit of juice, and it's just really sweet and really good, and it's definitely my type of flavor. Pretty damn good vapor production out of a little pod system like that, if I do say so myself. And that's it for my setups for this week, guys. Let's go ahead and move on. It's vape mail time! Yay! I love me some vape mail, except when it's a glitter bomb. Now I'm sure you're all wondering who sent me the glitter bomb from last week. Well, it was partly the Stooge crew, and it was partly Demo Vapes. Now, Demo, you did something really nice and sent me a Reload RDA, and then you go and do a thing like this. All plotted out and planned from the Stooge crew. They knew I was going to be away in Canada, and I would come home to this thing, excited to unbox it, and I would do it on camera. So, well done, you guys. I give you a little golf clap for that one, but hopefully no more in the future, because that was not fun cleaning up all that glitter all over my office. Another quick little aside here, big shout out and thank you goes to my buddy Ryan. He's part of the Daily Vape TV Cloud crew and a Blaz family member. He gave me this knife to actually unbox stuff with, because he was tired of watching me struggle with scissors and my janky ass box cutter. So big shout out to you, Ryan. Thank you so much for this. It's going to make my life a hell of a lot easier. So with that, let's go ahead and get started here. We've got this brand new nice sharp blade to cut into our DHL bag. You know it's good if it's from DHL. Stab our way in. And this thing is really sharp. I already cut myself once. All right. Oh, okay. So we got some Hellvape tape on the outside here. So I have a good feeling I know what this one is. Ooh, there we go. Okay. A little bit more accurate with a knife, Nick. There we go. Don't just stab it, you know, don't just stab it. All right. Well, that was a lot easier than scissors, I must say. All right. Well, yep, it's what I thought it was. It's the new Drop Dead RDA, and I've got two of them, which means I'm going to end up doing a giveaway at some point as well. So let's see here. What colors did we get? We got a stainless steel and a rainbow. Ooh, which one do I want to open? I don't know. I'm pretty partial to stainless steel, but I don't have anything in rainbow, really. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm going to do the rainbow one, guys. Screw it. I'm going to go all in here. Let's do this one, and I'm going to just open it up right here on camera. So, boom. Cut the cellophane. Yeah, it happened. Rainbow one is now mine. Ding! All right. Well, massive booklet. Oh, we get a little sticker. I love me some stickers. You guys know me. Love me some stickers. And we have the drop dead itself. And yeah, I mean, I've seen all the pictures on Instagram and all that stuff, so I kind of knew what I was getting into with this one here. But I do want to take a look at the deck real quick, so let's just go ahead and pop it in on something here. Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's pretty much what I was expecting. It's got the drop deck on it almost to a T here. We've got the little kind of locking tabs, I guess you could call them. And we have a combination of drop and dead rabbit airflow. We've got the slots from the drop, and it is angled down just like the dead rabbit. So pretty cool little thing here. I've been really looking forward to trying this thing out. I might have to just throw some coils in this thing for next Fresh Build Friday. And if you guys want to see that, just drop a comment right down there in the box below. But yeah, really looking forward to trying this thing and seeing how it performs. But yeah, that's it for Vape Mail for this week. All right, guys, so to cap it all off, we've got a random review. This week, I've decided to try one from the Summer Holidays line from Dinner Lady. This one is called Guava Sunrise. Now, I picked this one up at CVE. They were kind enough to give me their whole set, as you can see behind me there. We've got the whole line of their Summer Holidays, so eventually we're going to go through all of them here. But with this one here, let's go ahead and read the description. It says, Guava Sunrise e-liquid is a tropical fruit medley with a rich finish. From your first inhale, a guava flavor that is sweet with a ripe texture to it, blended with a juicy pineapple that has a tart edge. There's a splash of cream to finish, adding a smooth layer to this tasty, fruity vape. So let's go ahead and just try our first puff on this one. So the very first flavor that I get off of this one is the guava itself. Now, it's a very light and delicate sort of flavor, and it almost gets masked immediately by a pineapple. That comes in right towards the end of your inhale as your coils start to heat up a little bit more. And the whole exhale is nothing but like pineapple and then a cream flavor towards the very end there. Now, I will say with this one, I have a feeling that it's going to change flavors a little bit depending on what you have it on. I feel like with the hotter builds, mechanical mods, that kind of thing, it's probably going to end up being a little bit more on the pineapple and cream side of things, whereas if you have it on a colder build or a cooler build, like a temp control build, something like that, it's going to bring out that very delicate guava. So I still have a feeling that they could have added a little bit more guava to this one here, because overall guava is a super delicate flavor that you really have to balance out with other really more aggressive flavors like pineapple. So not bad on this one. It's definitely a good flavor, right in my wheelhouse, and I'm really enjoying it. So I do recommend you guys try it out for yourself. And that kind of goes for the entire Summer Holidays sort of line. They're really, really good flavors. And yeah, I've been digging them all. So like I said, we're going to have to go through them one by one in these vlogs here, something like that, and we'll eventually get through them. But let's go ahead and have a quick vape on this one, and then we'll sign out. All right, guys, that about does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Also, leave me some comments in the box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of the topics that we talked about in this video here. Also, check out the advocacy and my social media links right down there in the description below. Make sure you guys check me out on Twitter. That's when I post about my live shows and stuff like that. So to stay updated, check me out on Twitter. It's just @DailyVapeTV. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and as always, vape on! Briefly, before we turned on the camera, we were talking about how weird it is that we're both named Nick, we're both reviewers,
yeah,
we're both bass players,
craft
we're both
beer.
tattooed, we love craft beer.
So you can grow a beard.